Was Abraham Lincoln a president?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just a publical figure.
Welcome back to Delulu Diaries, where the timelines don't match, but the receipts always do. Today we're going to be talking about the entire month of July for Amber. We did kind of cover from the 1st to the 11th in each individual video, so I'm not going to touch on that so much, but I did catch up on the TikToks that she had in July. Obviously, at this point, we're 10 days into August, so I have a little bit more catching up to do, but I just realistically, it was going to be too much to talk about. So before we get into that, I do just want to say real quick, I have had a lot of you guys ask how I'm doing in my pregnancy. First of all, thank you guys so much. That is so sweet of you to ask. And I'm doing great. I'm still out of breath a lot. My back is really hurting. I'm ready to have the baby, but as far as everything else, I'm doing really good. So thank you so much for asking. Everybody is healthy and happy. We actually just started a new diet here. Somebody in my family got some blood work done and came back as having high cholesterol and sodium issues. So kind of made me and Mr. Delulu want to get our acts a little bit more together. Not that we eat horribly to begin with, but we're trying to cut out ultra processed foods now. And so I've been spending a lot more time in the kitchen, which has been fun, but doing that and then watching Amber's what I eat in a day is, I don't know, everybody has their own different tastes and things like that, but I'm just going to say I'm happy that I'm eating the food that I'm making and not the food she's making and leave it at that. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into what I wanted to talk about here. So the first thing that I thought was kind of interesting, I guess, gross, really more likely. I know I just said that everybody eats whatever they want to eat and has different flavors that they enjoy, but one of the TikToks that stuck out the most to me was Amber put a serving of frozen blueberries in this big cereal bowl, and then she poured an entire chocolate protein shake into the bowl and ate it like cereal. And I truly don't know, you guys let me know if you have some insight on this, if that was something for Tommy's community. I don't know if it's because of Amberlynn's bad relationship with food, and maybe that's something that people who have her kind of relationship with food will do sometimes. I don't know if she was just trying to be quirky or what, but either way, when I saw that, I was like, this is so gross. I was trying to think in my brain, okay, if I was having a chocolate shake or a chocolate ice cream and I topped it with blueberries, would I still find that disgusting? And honestly, for me, yes, I would. I just don't think those flavors really go together. I mean, if it was strawberries, I would still think that it was a gross combination with the protein shake, because I know that those protein shakes have that protein flavor. But at least chocolate and strawberry is a classic combination, so I could kind of understand why she thought to try it. But I don't think blueberry and chocolate is a common combination. I could be wrong on that, but it just, I don't know, it was weird to me. That being said, Amber really has a chokehold on the marketing for that protein shake, in my opinion, because every time I go to the grocery store, there's this really big display at my grocery store of those core protein shakes right now. And I always think oh, that looks good. And then I'm like, no, it just looks good because I recognize it from Amber's channel. I don't actually want that. But it makes me laugh every single time. I go grocery shopping with my dad a lot because he lives nearby and I just like to spend time with him. And every single time I see the core protein shakes, I tell him, I'm like, oh my gosh, that girl I watch on YouTube drinks those every day. It makes me think of her every time. And now he started pointing it out before I even get a chance. He's like, there's your TikTok girls shakes or whatever. So honestly, that has kind of endeared me a little bit more to seeing those shakes in her videos. I still don't think it's something that she should really be drinking. I think there's better ways to get your protein in, but like I said, I don't know. I guess that was kind of a off tangent, not really super related to Amber, but doing that, seeing that and making a little joke out of it with my dad makes me hate seeing her drink them a little bit less. The only other thing I really had to say about her food is that she did show the packaging of those seafood chips that I had talked about, where I was like, why would you get seaweed. I was like, why would you get seaweed chips when you can just get the little seaweed crisps in the packet and they're super low calorie? Why would you get the chip version? And So I looked it up, and they're basically the same macros or whatever. Like the calories is pretty much the same. The chips that she's eating are 20 calories more per serving, but that's not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things. So I retract my statements about the seaweed chips. I guess those are fine, although they were pricey. Oh my gosh, I saw that at Target they were going for like $5.50 for one packet, and she had half the packet in one serving. But I guess those seaweed snacks in general are kind of expensive too. The seaweed snacks is 1/10 of the size of those bags by weight, and they're like $1.50 or something like that. That's why I don't buy them. I really like them, but they're so expensive. And then the only other thing that I had to say about her food really was that she had this steak that was so overcooked, and she sliced it really thin, and it made me think of the grandma in that episode of SpongeBob, the one that's like going on and on about the chocolate. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was crazy. That I understand she likes her meat on the drier side, but I was like shocked to see, like, I don't know. It really almost looked like if you've ever been to a like upper end pet store and they have the dehydrated meat for you to buy for your dogs. It almost looked like that. And again, like, I don't have an issue with her eating it like that. Like, I'm not saying that she should cook it medium rare because that's what I enjoy. Because at the end of the day, it's her food. She can cook it and eat it however she wants. I'm just commenting because it's something that I noticed and saw or whatever. So if you're the kind of person who likes your steak well done, I seriously have no hate for that. I think it's fine. I think people really overblow the how you like your steak done thing. In fact, I actually really hate those memes online, if you've ever seen them, where people will have like, it's got like the fork with all the different temperatures of meat, and it's supposed to be an instructional diagram, but instead they'll be like, you're stupid for like well done or whatever. I think that's so dumb. Like, let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. But you guys are here to hear my opinions on her food, so that's my opinion, is that I thought it looked a little dried out. So that's pretty much, like I said, everything I had to say about her food. I have been paying a little bit more attention to her sodium, just because you guys had mentioned it, and I didn't really think it was a big deal for her to not care so much about the processed food and the sodium and stuff when she was starting out. But now she has supposedly, according to her, been on this diet for a month, and she's not getting any better about the salt. She's actually getting worse about the salt from what I've seen. I could be wrong, just because, like I said, I had that family member get their blood work back and they need to watch their sodium. So now sodium's more on my mind. So maybe I just noticed it more. But like, for example, she made this chili bowl and she said she flavored the broth with like chicken bouillon or whatever, which is like a huge sodium bomb. And then she also mentioned putting in a partial seasoning packet for like taco seasoning, which also has a shit ton of sodium in there. So I was like, that's actually kind of crazy. Especially because she says all the time that she has water retention issues. And so, as I said before, my opinion on this has not changed. But as I said before, when you're starting on a new diet, I understand not watching everything. But like by 30 days in, I would expect, if she knows that water retention is an issue for her, that she would start cleaning that up a little bit, if that makes sense. So now I want to touch real quick on her exercise, because you guys totally lied to me. A couple of you guys said that she had already given up on her like weight loss exercise routines or whatever. And listen, again, I haven't seen anything from August. I just watched in July. But when I made my video talking about her exercise routine, that was still in July. So you guys misled me. I was like waiting for her to quit or make an excuse or whatever, but she was still doing her exercise routine. Granted, I have had several of you guys talk about the fact that the exercise routine could be to appeal to Tommy's community, and I understand that. At the end of the day, though, I don't know how I feel about it, because it is still movement. Like, even if it's for that, it is still movement. And I still personally do not see any weight loss. I know some people have said they see weight gain. I don't see weight gain either. But I don't have, I heard somebody call it scale eyes. I don't have scale eyes. Like, I'm not great at looking at portion sizes and just knowing how much is on the plate. And I'm also not great at looking at somebody and telling if they have gained or lost weight. But to me personally, she doesn't look like she has gained or lost weight. She looks just kind of the same as she always does. But I do like seeing her move around. The only thing that's kind of like, I don't know, jarring, I guess, would be that, especially at the end of the month, she started posting where when she does the infinity hoop, she'll pick from TikTok's catalog to put music over it. And then usually right after that, she has her like making her meals for the day. And when she's making her meals for the day, she did it like ASMR style. Like she wasn't talking, she didn't have any music. You just hear like the crinkling of the bag, and like if she bites into something, that sound. And I'm like, it's so annoying because she'll have like a real bop on for the infinity hoop. And then you scroll to the next one, it's just like dead quiet except for these crinkly noises. I don't know. It was driving me a little bit up the wall. Granted, I was multitasking when I was watching her TikToks, so it's possible that either A, if I watched them on the day that she uploaded, it would be less annoying because I wouldn't be scrolling through a bunch of them all at the same time, and B, it could have been less annoying if I was like fully invested in the TikToks. But I had so many to watch. I just was not going to sit and stare at my screen for, it took literally an hour. I was not going to sit and stare at my screen for an hour while I watched her eat what she ate in a days and do the exercise. If it had just been the exercise and the weigh-ins and stuff, I probably would have sat down and watched it all. But the what I eat in a days are just like, they're taking it out of me, man. Like, I hate the ASMR eating. I don't have the misophonia or whatever that like some people have, so it's not that severe. I just think it's kind of crazy. Like, why not take the time to cut the camera so we don't have to hear that? Although, again, I guess she has the ASMR thing, according to her. So, you know, maybe it's something that she enjoys. I don't know. Clearly that part of her content is not for me, and so I'm not going to understand it because it's not for me. But, yeah, so anyways, I was still happy to see her do the exercises. The things that I didn't like, first of all, the infinity hoop, she wears it in a different position every single time she wears it. Sometimes it's more towards her natural waist where she is supposed to be wearing it, but especially in the more recent videos, it's like at the smallest part of her body, which is right underneath her bust line. And I don't think you can get a proper workout from the infinity hoop with it right underneath your bust line. Some people argue that you can't get a proper workout from it even at your, you know, natural waist. But again, for Amber, any kind of movement, even just her standing up, is probably better than what she's doing on the majority of her days. So I don't want to be too nitpicky about that part. And then something else I thought was funny is that somebody was like, how many links are you using on your infinity hoop now? And she takes it off to count it, even though she knew that it came with 34 links and she had removed 3 links, and yet she counted it. And then somebody pointed that out in the comments and was like, you could have just done the math. And she was like, well, some people are visual learners. And I was like, who's learning anything in this moment? Like, they're asking you a question about the number that you're using. They don't need a visual demonstration. Like, I just thought that was so funny because I don't think that's the reason she did it. Honestly, I think she just wasn't paying attention and didn't think about the fact she could have done it that way. But the fact that she said it was for visual learners was, it made me laugh. I just thought that was really funny. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to touch on in this video, and again, in my next video, I'll like go a little bit more in depth on her August TikToks, but she had a weigh-in. She was supposed to do a weigh-in, and she was like, oh, my scale broke. And she already like preloaded the excuses about like, oh, I have lymphedema and this, that, and the third, whatever. So she gets the new scale, and the video was 5 minutes long. I was so exasperated just like trying to get through it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I zoned out. I really tried to pay attention for the full 5 minutes, but like I couldn't do it. It was so loopy. So she comes on, she says whatever weight she said that she weighed at the beginning of the month. I already forgot. And then she says that she's weighing like, I want to say she said 518. It was something ridiculous. And so she was like, oh, so since the beginning of the month, I'm down basically 30 pounds, but I am up 1 pound from last week. But I think it's because I'm doing this exercise, and exercise causes me to have fluid retention or whatever. And she just kept looping on the excuses over and over and over again. Which, let's be clear on one thing. I don't think that she is being honest about her weigh-ins, because she does not look like that photo that we've seen of her where she was at the doctor's office weighing in my mind. Granted, she did have one TikTok where she wore a t-shirt instead of a dress, and she did look significantly smaller in a t-shirt than she does in a dress, because obviously you don't have the flowing fabric. So I want to put that picture next to her scale picture, but I honestly am not going to do that tonight. I'm so sorry, you guys. I know that's like extremely lazy. I'm so pregnant and tired. But I'm going to try to do that in my next video, just to compare sizes or whatever. But I don't believe her weigh-in. I don't think she's eating the portion sizes that she says she's eating. I think that even what she shows on camera, a lot of times you can look at things and see that her one serving of cottage cheese is different in a lot of different videos and stuff like that. So I don't think that she is on track. That being said, let's put that to the side and pretend that she is weighing everything out, that she's on track, and that she did lose 30 pounds in a month. I honestly would not give a shit if she was saying that she gained a pound because of whatever excuses she has, or if she just gained a pound because she did a little worse one week. Like, genuinely, if she were on track, I don't think a pound fluctuation in a month is that big of a deal. I did a weight loss journey. Granted, I never want to sound like I've lost hundreds and hundreds of pounds, okay? I went from weighing 145, 150 pounds, something like that, to weighing about 130. So I lost like 25 pounds, 25 pounds, something like that. And when I did it, I also had fluctuations, and I was extraordinarily diligent. I weighed every single thing that I put in my mouth. I was doing exercises, but there's just like little mistakes that you don't think about when you're doing it. And then sometimes I feel like your body just does that. You know what I mean? Obviously it should be a general downward trend. And I weighed in every single day. I didn't weigh in once a week or whatever. But you know, I would have some days where I was like up a little bit, some days where I was like down more, but overall I did, you know, trend downwards. And so if she were on weight, especially at her size, 1 pound of weight gain is not that big of a deal. What alarms me more is that it's like she clearly is like getting excuses ready, and I don't know, like it's so frustrating because I really want her to be on track. I want to be proven wrong. I want her to lose a significant amount of weight and get into like the 400s, the 300s, where like nobody can argue that she's lost weight, just because I think that would be so like nice to see, because Amber's the one who helped me to lose weight. Obviously by bad example, but you know, it would be nice, because a lot of people have watched either Amber or reaction channels when they're trying to lose weight. And for her to achieve it for herself, I know she's not a bad person, but again, if we put that to the side, I would love to see her lose weight. I would love to see her get healthy. I would love to see her prove to people that she can do it. So if I was wrong on that, like I would be over the moon, but I just don't think I am. I'm not seeing it. Anyways, I know that was kind of a lackluster video, I guess. I'm going to try to make my next video on Thursday being all of her August TikToks. I'm going to try to include clips and that little comparison photo that I just talked about. But let me know what you guys thought. Did you guys think that there was anything in July that I missed that you guys really wanted me to talk about? Do you guys think that Amber is not doing good enough in her exercises? Because the other thing that struck me as weird with her exercises is like, how come she was able to go from 35, I think, on day 1 all the way up to like 60 on day 10? That tells me she wasn't pushing herself hard enough. Like, she always leaves gas in the tank when she's working out, and I don't think that's a good way to do it, but that's neither here nor there. The other thing I was going to say is that I have been thinking about making a second channel and putting up some of like what I eat in my days, or recipe videos, things like that, just because I do eat a very clean diet, and especially now that we're trying to get rid of the ultra processed foods and stuff like that, like I'm making the food anyways. It would take like half a second to set up a camera and record it. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. I'm not 100% sure if I want to do it or not, just because it is extra work and I am getting tired, but at the same time I'm like, it really isn't that much extra effort. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go because I am getting super rambly here. If you made it this far, you already know. Stay Delulu, but not that Delulu. And I'll catch you in the next one.